Okay, got another challenge lock here, beautifully presented in this 3D printed box by ZM78. So it's called Lost Traction. Let's pull that apart. Yep. Right, so we got there's that inside box there. A nice kick holder there. Let's put those away. So what do we got? We've got a Gainsborough key. This works nicely. All right, we've got a ZM there. We've got some kind of funny business going on the top of the Bible here. Cap. Got some decorative lines on the front here, looks like. 6 pins, presumably. Yeah, I can see a very serrated key pin at the back. All right. Let's slide the device on over. Slap that in. Make sure it works in the vise. Yep. All right. And tension tool. And give it a go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 with core rotation. 4, 5. If I'm not getting under 6 there, let's just check the other pins. Deforest handy. Yep. Pop that up. Yeah. Let's switch back to the gem. Yeah, got some rotation out of 2 there. 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. Again, can't get under that last one. Oh. Yeah, right, got some of then. Full set. Oh, hello. Now there's this false set. Very low down the back there. It might be a problem pin. Nothing on the key screams super low. All right, very deep, very deep false set. Let's just see if anything feels like anything. Yep, pin 6 has got feedback. Let's counter rotate manually back. Is it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Am I actually pushing the pin that's back there? Oh, we lost everything. The whole, I think I must have broken the spring. Is that actually still working? That feels all wrong. Ah, it's broken. Well, I'm going to call that a win then. I think it was picked open, and I think we balked a spring or something, because now she doesn't go. So I'm going to call that a victory, and I'm going to see if I can gut this thing. So now the key doesn't work. Well, let's see what we can see. Okay, so here is the lock after it has been gutted. So there was our key again. Here's the core, which we've had to drill a hole into pin or chamber 5 through that silver piece there, and extract that. I will be threading that and putting a grub screw in for future use. Obviously, I talked to ZM78 before doing any of this. So basically, here's what's happened. So here's our plug. So chamber 1 is standard. Chamber 2, we've got a nice undercut there. Nice sharp lip, both directions. 3, we've got like it's really wallowed out on one side. We've got a bit of a lip there, a lip on this side as well. Chamber 4 is the same thing, but going the other direction and not quite as extreme. Chamber 5 is the same thing, but way more extreme. So this is where I got that 45-degree false set, was out of this chamber. And then the end chamber is got like a little serration in it, but it's mostly standard. Right, so then we look at the pins. Here, I'll bring that up. Just go through these. So we've got mostly standard key pins, but this one's got serrations on the back. Standard thick spool type deal, spool with a thin lip, spool with a thin lip, T-pin and a wafer, and a serrated pins. And then you can see all the springs are mostly the same, and one that got highly mangled. So what has occurred is that I picked all of these pins, all of them, into the right spot. So I got into that deep 45-degree false set, which can only be where this T-pin is in here. Whoop. Not all the way in there. Keep it in just to demonstrate. Key-pin's in, and the T-pin comes, and it can get right off over to the side, and sort of gets stuck over there. So that's what happened. But then the wafer under it, because this is like it's a thin master wafer, and because this is a little bit widely wallowed out, that master wafer went sideways, and then it wouldn't reset properly, and everything jammed, and it got lodged in sideways there. And even when I opened the top out, which I didn't actually even touch the spring when I managed to get it out, which is nice when I drilled. So the spring got completely mangled when it got reset, which makes sense. It was just completely jammed in there. I had to really give a good smack to get those pins out. So that is what happened. I am going to consider that to have been successfully picked, because it did get into its deepest false set, did identify which the correct pin was, and was going to counter rotate and lift up and beyond that. So I would have escaped that had the lock not broken on me. So I will be, to make this functional, try and replace that with a thicker master wafer, and we'll be putting a grub screw on the top of that so that it'll continue to function. So there you go. That was ZM78's Lost Attraction. Bit of a disaster there, but still a good pick. You just got to be, you're going to drill channels and things in these. You've got to be extra careful to keep them clean and not any wider than they need to be, or they don't really work properly. It's all right if you're just going to go off sideways like this one. You don't need to be as careful with that. But if you're milling a channel with a T-pin wafer type deal, you have to really pay attention to how you're doing that. And also, like it's milled into this key retaining section, which is potentially a problem as well. But I don't think it is. But you don't really want to be doing that. So think about what you're modifying. Think about where. Ideally you would have put this one with the channel a bit further up, and then it wouldn't have milled into that anyway. So I don't know. That's the thoughts on that one. Bit disappointing, but lessons learned. And it's fixable.